Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope this lighting isn't too odd. Coming to you live. I'll just jump right in. I have to go pick the kids up soon, so here we go. All right. What is self-care? What is self-care? We hear everybody telling us self-care, self-care. You gotta make sure you're taking care of yourself. You gotta self-care. You gotta self-care. And excuse me. Am I the only one that when I first started hearing self-care, I thought of like a spa day? Excuse me for a second. Is that just me? I thought of spa day, I think of self-care as this like glamorized things that you're supposed to be doing already for yourself, or like if you treat yourself, that's self-care. Right? What's another thing? Like a bunch of things. A spa day, getting a massage, a bubble bath, right? These are things, misconceptions in my opinion, but that's another kind of tangent. But when we hear self-care, we think that it's like, what is a deterrent to self-care? Now this is like this whole now new list of things apparently that I'm supposed to be doing extra. that doesn't make me feel cared for. Listen, today I'm going to talk about some really practical, and sorry about this lighting, you guys. It's my anyway, we're just going to roll with it. But so to take care of ourselves, what's an example really popular today? What's an example of how can we just take care of ourselves? Everything we already are doing, do it with intention behind it of being kind and genuinely caring and loving and accepting and appreciative of yourself. I know that sounds so silly, but I'll give you an example. Okay. So you get up in the morning, if you take a shower in the morning, which is, I think, a good idea. So if you take a shower in the morning, instead of which we often do with our lights are turned off, we're just on autopilot. How many people are you on autopilot, just trying to caffeinate yourself enough to make it through the day? I was there, been there, done that. So no judgment ever, but is that you? Because if so, then if you're on autopilot all the time, then that is where your care for yourself is lacking. Because have you seen the movie Click with Adam Sandler? If not, you should watch it, okay? It runs parallels to truths in our life, because I believe that the more autopilot decisions that you make, the more you're on autopilot. I call it your light is off, okay? And so there's so much happening because your light is off. There's so much that you're missing. So as it were, in this case, if you're in the shower, maybe dreading your day or giving yourself a whole mental kind of not good. If you're on autopilot and you're just washing, you're not caring for yourself as you're doing it. Here is an example of how just your basic daily activities can be and turn into self-care. And it's all really just up here. It's about, so everybody thinks of mindset as one word, mindset, all one word. It's really not. In my explanation, it's mind, set. But that's another video. But if we set our minds to caring for ourselves, then everything that we're doing can become self-care. Your shower in the morning can become self-care, because instead of robotically going through the motions, showering yourself, you can be thinking of what you're doing. You can turn your light on and don't autopilot do that activity, and appreciate your hand as you're washing your hand. Do it with care, like you're being nice to yourself. Appreciate your arm as you're washing your arm. I know people that don't have their limbs anymore, right? That's not a guilt trip. That's just saying, right? We have things to be grateful for all over ourselves. And I know for people that are new to gratitude work, this seems silly. I do. Because you're like, duh, of course I'm grateful for whatever. No, it's not of course. It's a practice. Gratitude is a practice. It's a space. It's an energy. It's a state of being. And when you're grateful, and you're caring as you're doing the washing. Not trying to give y'all a visual of me in the shower, my bad. It's just an example, okay? What are some other things, right? So when you're applying your lotion, if you're moisturizing after, when you're taking your vitamins, that's self-care, right? Self-care is also, what are we eating? Are we taking care of ourselves and nourishing our body with that? There's all sorts of ways of self-care instead of thinking Kenny G in a bubble bath. Like, we have to get rid of that. We have to get rid of that thought and mindset over self-care altogether. Because it's not just Kenny G and bubble baths, right? Self-care is appreciating and valuing yourself. Sometimes self-care is cutting off a toxic relationship. Sometimes self-care is finding your voice and speaking up for yourself. Sometimes self-care is standing your ground and saying no to the thing. Sometimes self-care is saying yes to the thing and doing the big scary thing and taking a calculated risk. Self-care really originates from you loving and appreciating and valuing yourself, in whatever way that looks like for you. For example, the bubble bath spa day, that doesn't make me feel cared for. That gives me anxiety. Right? So it's not, it's relative. Okay? So what's a way to care for you and what's a way to care for me are not necessarily the same. For us to keep having this, like, this image of date, whatever. But my point is, you don't have to have money and a spa day. We can care for ourselves, and it starts with just the little things. It starts with how you treat yourself. It starts with appreciating yourself and being kind to yourself, being accepting of yourself, speaking up for yourself, advocating for yourself. It's like being your partner. It's like, treating yourself like you're your client. Do you have a client in your business? How do you treat your clients? What's your customer service for everyone else? What is your level of care for everyone else? When you do something for someone else, what is the level that you give it? At least put yourself on that list, right? If you're curious at what is the standard, right? But you'll notice that you will feel better because you'll be being cared for. And it doesn't have to come from externally, even though we have all been kind of bred to believe and want and seek that. But the more we can appreciate and love ourselves, truly value yourself as you're washing your hands, as you're putting cream on your hands, as you're washing, do it with care. Take care of yourself. Self-care. Care about yourself. Care about how you're feeling. Care about what your needs are. Care about all of you, yourself. And every bit of yourself. Your health, your wealth, your thoughts, your body, your everything. Right? Ooh, I feel like, ooh. My love and light is coming to you today, this happy Wednesday hump day. I love you all. It's my hope that we take care of ourselves. And it starts with the little things. The little things add up, and they add up big. Starts with the little things. Let's take care of ourselves, from the little things to the big things. I love you. Thank you for watching. Love and light.